welcome to this week's episode of The Weekly Bubble. I'm your host, Duke Magnum, and with me, as always, my co-host, Squiggy.
How's it going, everybody? Before we get this week's episode started, let's get a quick word from our sponsor.
This broadcast is brought to you by Naden Family Home. At Naden Family Home, we provide several services for individuals with special abilities. We have several group homes throughout Alaska. We also provide supportive employment and rehabilitation services. Our goal is to support our clients and to provide the highest quality of care as possible. And now, back to the show.
All right, Duke. Well, before we get into this week's showdown, why don't we share with the listeners what is it that we've heard about, read about, watched over this past week, listened to, anything new that we can let the listeners know about?
Well, Archer just started its 11th season with 2 episodes.
Okay. So, Archer, you said season 11 already?
Yes.
Well, I remember when it was barely premiering on FX. Now it's already on season 11.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that the voice of Archer is the same voice as Bob on Bob's Burgers. Did you know that?
Oh, yes, H. John Benjamin.
Oh, man, you got your information. Yeah, he's a pretty good voice actor. He's definitely a hard voice to mimic or imitate. Okay, so Archer season 11. If you haven't seen the first 10 seasons, you should probably start now. But definitely check out Archer season 11. Also, I saw the new trailer for Mandalorian season 2. I don't know if you were able to watch Mandalorian season 1.
I've seen all of season 1.
Yeah, so they released a trailer for season 2. I'm hoping that they explain a little bit more about, quote-unquote, the child, or Baby Yoda, as everybody calls him.
Yeah, I don't get why people are just making assumptions his name would even be Yoda. I mean, it's like the same creature or whatever. Or whatever,
yeah, same species, right?
Species, yeah.
No, I know. It is the same species, and I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with Yoda. But I mean, it's just because visually, it's a baby. It looks like Yoda, Baby Yoda. You know.
Right.
But he's definitely cute. I can't argue with that. But yeah, so season 2 of The Mandalorian is coming out, I think October 30th, it said. If you haven't checked out the trailer, go ahead and search that up now. What else? What else have we checked out over the past week? I know it's nothing new, but I watched Ocean's 11. I had never seen it, and I really like heist movies. So if you know any heist movies, comment them below so that Duke and I can check them out. But definitely Ocean's 11 was pretty well done. I know it's a little bit old, but still pretty good. What else?
Oh yeah, Star Trek Discovery Season 3.
Oh, Star Trek. Okay, Star Trek Discovery Season 3.
Yes.
And can you give us like a brief idea what that's going to be about?
Well, I know it where it left off was where Michael Burnham, I think went into the future.
Okay.
And I know
So which one is this following?
Which one is this following?
It's this Discovery, right? You said. Is that a sequel to another season? Well, or like another series? I mean, sorry, because obviously season 3 is a sequel to season 2,
right?
but is it
connected
to another series?
Yeah, for Star Trek.
Okay, which one?
This is supposed to take place before Captain Kirk.
Oh, okay.
But as you saw with season 2, Spock was in it.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
They are planning on spinning off into another Star Trek show called Star Trek Strange New Worlds, where we'll have Spock and Captain Pike, who is before Captain Kirk.
Okay, cool.
So that's where the season 2 finale gives you that idea where there would be that series. And yeah, I guess in season 3 it looks like they jumped to the future.
Nice.
So that comes out October 15th.
Okay. So we got Star Trek and Star Trek Discovery Season 3 is out. Also the trailer for Mandalorian 2. Oh, wow, look at that. We got Star Wars versus Star Trek. That'd probably make a good showdown in the future. Definitely foreshadowing.
Yep, foreshadowing.
But speaking of showdowns, why don't we get right into this week's showdown?
And in this week's showdown, we we'll be discussing two late night icons. In one corner, we have David Letterman, who's done the morning show on NBC in the early 80s. Then he did Late Night. Then he moved over to CBS and did The Late Show. In the other, we have Jay Leno, who has guest hosted for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show, then became the host of The Tonight Show after Johnny Carson retired. So, who will be the winner of the Late Night Wars in this week's showdown? Let's get it started.
Oh man, that sounds like quite the showdown. Two of late night's biggest
Icons.
I was trying to think of another word, but icons there's really no other way to describe them. They're just both so iconic. So David Letterman versus Jay Leno in today's showdown. This is perfect for you, Duke, because I know you love both these guys. You've taught me a lot about their shows and the history behind them. So I've definitely come to like both of them. They're both great. But in today's showdown, we got to find out, do they match up, or is one just a little greater than the other? So, starting with round one, we're going to go right into it with opening monologue. Who had the better opening monologues throughout their show? Was it David Letterman or Jay Leno? What do you think, Duke?
That's a tough one. I mean, they both had good monologues.
Yeah.
They both had good delivery. The timing of their jokes in the weekly topics, or should I say daily topics, because it came on every night.
Yeah.
And they always covered really tough calls. So
what's something that you would say you like about David Letterman's that maybe Jay Leno's didn't have? Is there anything that maybe David Letterman did, or the way he delivered things that maybe made him a little bit better? Or Jay Leno, like, is there anything that Jay Leno did that maybe you feel David Letterman was lacking in a little bit?
Really can't think of anything, unless you know something you'd like to point out.
No, I mean, from what I've seen, I feel like they're both very different. You know, they're both very different in their delivery and in the way they talk, their energy. But at the same time, like you said, they both present it very well. So, I mean, yeah, I feel like even if, like, sometimes I feel like Jay Leno maybe did have more energy. Like, he was very, like, uppity. But
and head bobbing a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you know, with that chin, it's kind of...
Yeah.
But also, I feel like David Letterman had more of a, like, calm and collected feel, which also brought something that was, in a way, soothing to hear the monologue through that type of delivery. So yeah, I feel like when it comes down to it, I don't know, it's a tough one. What do you think?
I think they both get the point for this.
Okay, so you're gonna call this one a tie?
Yeah, it's a tie.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they both have a lot to offer when it came to their monologues, but definitely they were funny, they were delivered well. So I'm 100% on the same page as you, Duke. So round one goes to both of them.
Yep.
Both Jay Leno and David Letterman get 1 point for their opening monologues. Definitely both very well presented. All right, so now it's a tie, 1-1. Moving on to round two. Round two, we've got side segments. Now, this is when they're not interviewing their new guest, their next celebrity host, whatever they're looking for, right? What side segment, the little shows, the little funny side shows, do you think were better? Were they the ones on Jay Leno's Tonight Show or the ones on The Late Show with David Letterman? What do you think?
Yet again, this is another tough one because I actually enjoyed both segments. I liked when David Letterman did his top 10.
Yeah, top 10 was definitely a very famous thing. It even inspired our segment, right? Line them up.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's definitely very well put. What else?
And stupid human and stupid pet tricks.
What was that about? I don't think I ever got to see one of those.
Well, people would come on the show and they would have their dogs do a trick or something like that, and
that's
then
cool.
People come on and they would do something. So that's where those came in, the stupid human tricks and stupid pet tricks.
Okay.
And
that sounds pretty funny.
Right. then there'd be sometimes he'd have these random segments where he'd go around. I remember when he was like volunteering at Taco Bell and McDonald's, and for those who haven't seen it, check those out on YouTube because those were funny.
That sounds like a good little like prank kind of, you know?
Yeah. Now with Jay Leno, he had some good ones too, like the headlines where he would point out a grammar or something misspelled, or he would do these sold or not sold on eBay, and that was funny. And another thing he would do was the jaywalk, where he would interview people, and sometimes the people came off foolish because they didn't know how to answer a question properly.
Oh, I think I've seen some of those.
And then, of course, he would do his little funny game show segments. And we're talking about the music that was like popular in that year. He would like go around and have these random people make a spoof of the music video by reenacting the music video, and that was funny too.
Yeah.
So, yet again, this is going to be this one's another tie.
Okay. Well, I mean, since I didn't get to see too many of these, I have seen Jaywalk and I have seen the top 10, and I do like both of them. So, I mean, can't argue with you, Duke. You know what you're talking about. So, definitely, yeah, comes down to another tie. So, in round 2 for Best Side Segment Show, it's a tie. Again, David Letterman gets a point. Jay Leno gets a point, bringing our total to 2-2. 2-2. So now, moving on to round 3. Now, this one's going to get a little bit more complicated because I feel like it might be a close call. But personally, I think I have a winner in mind already. But we'll see what you got to say. Our next round, round 3, simple. Who's funnier? Who was the funnier host? Who brought more laughs to late night?
This is going to be very hard because I can remember many memories when I laughed at these guys and what they would say.
Yeah.
And oh man, I'm really trying to think.
Now, do you want to hear my opinion?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I think Jay Leno definitely brings like that funny, like very high energy humor, where like even his delivery was very like energetic, very like I can't think of another word, but like it was just in your face, like out there, you know, like he would do a lot of like funny gestures, his movements, his expressions, they were all very funny, and his delivery was well. But however, that being said, I personally feel like David Letterman's delivery was more like in my ballpark, because he was always so, like I said earlier, he was always so calm and collected, like, you know, but at the same time, he had like very subtle delivery. He would hit the punchline, and sometimes you might even miss it, you know, because of how smooth he was. So like just his style of humor, very like very subtle, very like in a way dry, but still like funny, you know what I mean?
And it revealed how smart he is.
Yeah, it reminded me of like the shows I like to watch, you know, like kind of like The Office, where, you know, if you don't pay attention, or even Seinfeld, there's a lot of stuff. I've seen Seinfeld like probably all the way through like at least 20 times, and every time I see an episode, sometimes I'll catch a line or like a little hidden thing that I didn't catch the first few times I watched it, because it's like so subtle. And I really feel like when punchlines or jokes are delivered like that, I appreciate them more than when they're like kind of just in your face, like, this is funny, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I would definitely say Dave Letterman does get this point.
Yeah? Why do you say that?
Because I just like his delivery better, very smart.
Yeah.
Like maybe laid back, subtle, but it didn't have to be over the top.
Yeah. I feel like that's why I feel like now also Jay Leno, the way that he delivers stuff, I get reminded of him by Jimmy Fallon. Because I feel like it's there, like David Letterman wasn't trying to be funny, he was just funny.
He was just funny.
But I feel like Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon, like now they try to be funny. They try to go over the top to get that laugh, you know, like just kind of like kind of force it sometimes, honestly. But
yeah.
Not that it doesn't work. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, I'll still laugh, but I feel like David Letterman, it just came so easy to him, which I feel like that's why I think that he gets the point. What do you think?
He does deserve this point.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we're on the same page here as well. So David Letterman taking the lead by a hair with 3 points. Jay Leno with 2 points. Which brings us to round 4. Jay Leno's got to get this point for a tie, or David Letterman will be crowned the late night legend. So, round 4, again, a very complicated one. However, very simple round. Round 4 is, who was the better host? Who took care of his guests? Who was more beloved by his guest? Right? Is it beloved or beloved?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares? You know what I mean. So, which host do you think was a better host overall? You know, who made their guests feel welcome, made their guests feel appreciated, made their guests feel comfortable? Jay Leno or David Letterman? What do you think?
Oh, I think this one is going to be a little bit easy. Personally, I would say David Letterman. That's just me. But I liked how when he had guests on, and like he could like goof around with them a little bit, but also he knew when to be very truthful, and he didn't hold any punches when needed to. Like, if at least he knew how to call them out when they screw up or something, or he just said it like it was, and he was very honest, and he didn't just kiss their feet.
Yeah.
Like the way some hosts do, is always kiss their guests' feet and like try to be very sickly sweet.
Yeah, I get you.
But at least it was like he made you feel welcomed when needed, and if you screwed up, he called you out on it pretty much.
Which I feel like that would be a good friend, you know?
Yeah.
You know, if someone's doing something that's messing up their life or hurting them in any way, and you're really someone's friend, then you should say something to them, you know? For their own sake, because you care, you know?
Right.
So yeah, I guess I understand what you mean. Like,
he could still make it funny while
it wasn't
at the same time, and he could make a joke at their expense if needed. He's had his moments of making guests cry, but
man,
yeah, he's had those moments,
but not from aggression, right? More like just like kind of like calling them out, and maybe they didn't like it or something.
Pretty much that, or sometimes maybe going a little bit too far.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like that definitely, but again, I feel like it's better personally, even with myself, if I was a guest or if I had a friend, I would prefer to hear the truth from them, even though it might be tough to swallow, than to just have a friend who like kind of like acts like everything's fine, you know, but then behind your back is maybe saying things about you, or you know what I mean. I prefer hearing it to my face. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it's always good to be truthful. Well, like they say, wounds from our friends are real than 1,000 kisses from an enemy.
Yeah. Oh, Duke Magnum with the words of wisdom of the day. What was that?
Oh,
a wound from a friend.
Wounds from friends are real. Better than multiple kisses from an enemy.
Wounds from friends are real and better than
kisses from an enemy.
Wow, that is very deep and true.
But I will give Jay Leno some credit with this guest. He was like really, I would say he was definitely polite to his guests.
Yeah.
But sometimes you felt maybe he buttered them up a bit too much.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I feel like David Letterman, when he had a guest on the show, I feel like he realized, like, sure, this is my show, but people watch it also to see the guests, you know?
Right.
They don't just want to see me, you know? So I feel like David Letterman did a good job with his questions, his conversation. He always had a way of, like, putting a spotlight on the guest, making it about them, you know? When I feel like sometimes I've noticed, like, Jay Leno and, again, Jimmy Fallon as well, they still want the spotlight on them, too. So sometimes, even though they have a guest, they make it a little bit about them too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes it's like, okay, we get it, like, you're the host, but give them a chance to talk, you know? Give them a chance to, like, shine as well, you know? So I feel like David Letterman really did a good job of, like, putting himself aside when he needed to bring the spotlight to the guest. So for that reason, I personally would say that my vote is for David Letterman. But what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say that he was even nice enough to let guests have their time, but then sometimes there was guests that kind of overstayed their welcome. There was one interview where Madonna overstayed her welcome.
Oh yeah, what do you mean?
Well, you'd have to see it on YouTube. It was like time for her to go, but she wouldn't leave and stuff.
I ain't leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true too. But because of his generosity, because of his welcoming, she didn't want to go because she's like, well, I feel so comfortable here.
Right.
But yeah, so who do you think takes this round?
Oh, David Letterman.
Okay, so again, David Letterman with the win, bringing his grand total to 4, and Jay Leno with 2. So we see the winner of this showdown and the title of Late Night Legend is none other than David Letterman.
And I will give some thoughts on this. I honestly think David Letterman should have been the one to have had the Tonight Show, because I know for a fact that Johnny Carson pretty much wanted that way, but it wasn't his call because the network controlled it. But I know for a fact that Johnny Carson never appeared on Jay Leno's Tonight Show. He made some appearances on David Letterman's CBS show, like not interviews but cameo appearances. Yeah. And actually that was Johnny Carson's final TV appearance altogether. Was, at least from what I know, was on David Letterman.
Yeah, and over the past week or so, Duke has also been sharing with me like videos, and even there's a whole movie, right, called The Late Shift, and it's all based around the events that took place and the whole controversy, I guess you could say, of who would take the Tonight Show after Johnny Carson. So once Johnny Carson, he had been on the air for 30 years, right?
Yes, 30 years.
And then he, in a way, kind of was like pushed out, right?
Yes, from
being the host. So he just walked away because he didn't want to deal with it, in a sense.
Right.
But yeah, Johnny Carson definitely, I feel like he wanted David Letterman to be the next host, but there was the whole drama. A lot of stuff happened, and if you haven't seen The Late Shift, definitely a good movie. It's a good watch. And really eye-opening to what goes on behind the scenes.
Right, and if you check out those videos of David Letterman and Johnny Carson together, you could see those two were very, very good friends.
Yeah.
Now, when you saw Jay Leno and Johnny Carson together, it was not nearly as strong as David Letterman's friendship with Johnny Carson.
Yeah, that's true.
I would think maybe a friendship that almost came close was maybe the friendship between David Letterman and Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, Conan is definitely another funny host. I don't know how I feel about the new era, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, even James Corden. I mean, James Corden is just very likable.
Yes.
He's really nice and likable, so I feel like that's why I don't really have anything bad to say about him.
Right.
But Seth Meyers, I don't know, dude. I feel like
I
feel like if they were to bring if they were to recast or pretty much like put a new host for the Tonight Show. Personally, I think that a really good host could be David Spade.
I would definitely watch that every night if that happened, and it should happen in my opinion.
Yeah, I think David Spade or even Dana Carvey. Carvey as well, Mike Myers. Right. I feel like they would all be really fun and just really outgoing and great, and
people who've had experience, not who's the hot item now. I don't like that. But I will give some credit to other talk show hosts that I do like. Yeah, I do miss David Letterman as a talk show host, but I'm lucky when he comes on Netflix. My next guest needs an introduction, but I want to give.
He still has a show on Netflix?
Yes, and Jay Leno, he has his garage show, but I haven't watched much of it.
Okay.
But I want to give acknowledgments to certain other talk show hosts who are they're either not talked about anymore, or they're forgotten about, because I know it's been years. I remember Arsenio Hall did a show on Fox.
Oh yeah.
Then I know he came back, and that didn't work out. And another one that hasn't been on in a while was Craig Kilborn, he was actually the first one to do the Daily Show before Jon Stewart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then he was also an ESPN news anchor. Then after the Daily Show, he went and did the Late Late Show, succeeding Tom Snyder, who actually was the first one to host that. And actually, Tom Snyder did a show called The Tomorrow Show that followed Johnny Carson. And once the Tomorrow Show was off the air, that's how David Letterman stepped in.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And after Craig Kilborn just walked away, there was Craig Ferguson, who had been
he's funny.
He had been on the Drew Carey Show.
Yeah.
And so So I would say the ones I probably missed the most, my top would definitely be David Letterman, Craig Kilborn, and Craig Ferguson. Those are the ones I miss the most.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many talk shows, so many late night shows.
Definitely Johnny Carson. Can't forget him.
Yeah, I feel like that name is just always going to be connected to late night.
Yeah.
Know? But yeah, so definitely if you haven't checked it out, check out David Letterman's show on Netflix. It's called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, right?
Yes.
And Jay Leno's show, we haven't watched it, but he has his garage show.
Yes, and he does make appearances on Tim Allen's show, The Last Man Standing.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so definitely, and also start a petition to make David Spade the new host of The Tonight Show.
Definitely, I would definitely
Sign
lobby
that.
for that.
Yeah. So if you agree, if you disagree, feel free to leave a comment. This is all about getting people's opinions and opening our minds up to different perspectives. So yeah, leave a comment below. Do you think David Letterman was the better late night host, or Jay Leno, or whoever you think? Even if you like Jimmy Fallon, that's fine. If you like Seth Meyers, that's fine. Just leave a comment below. Let us know what you like. And also, who do you want to see in the next showdown? That's it for this week's showdown. Thank you for listening. And now we're moving on to our next segment.
Our next segment, inspired by David Letterman's top 10, called Line 'em Up. Let him know how it works, Squiggy.
All right, line them up. If you haven't checked out our past podcast, and this is your first time listening to our Line 'em Up segment, here's how it works. Line 'em Up is like a top 10 list. However, Duke Magnum will have to categorize into this list out of multiple and more than 10 options. So today's category is Saturday Night Live cast members. So there are 10 spots on today's Line 'em Up. However, I'm going to list more than 10 cast members, which means in order to make it on the list down the line, Duke might have to remove someone from the list or move them around in order to fit his lineup. So, with no further ado, is that how you say it? With no further ado?
I think so.
Okay, cool. With no further ado, we're going to go with our first cast member, Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, yeah.
So, Dan Aykroyd, is he making it to the list?
Yes, he is.
Okay, and what number do we want him at?
Huh. That's a tough one, but I think I'll go with number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Why number 1?
Being one of the first
Okay.
original. I also liked his I believe his name was Elwood Blues character with the Blues Brothers, and his Coneheads I liked.
Hey, Coneheads.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dan
And-
Aykroyd making it to number 1 on the list.
Yep.
All right, our next Saturday Night Live cast member will be Dana Carvey.
Ooh, Dana Carvey, another excellent choice. I'm going to have to put him at number 2.
Okay. We got Dan and Dana back to back.
Yeah.
So we got Dan Aykroyd at number 1,
Eh.
Dana Carvey at number 2.
I just loved his church lady character.
Can you do an impression of Church Lady?
Well, isn't that special?
That's pretty good.
I also liked his Garth character from Wayne's World,
Oh, yeah.
and I liked his impression of George H.W. Bush. Not gonna do it. And his Ross Perot impression. May I finish now? May I finish now? This list could go on and on. He's done so many things. I don't know where to start.
Yeah, that's why I said Dana Carvey too would be definitely awesome for the Tonight Show or any
Yes,
late night show.
He was actually offered late night, but I think for respect for Dave Letterman, he declined.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty honorable of him. All right, moving on to our next Saturday Night Live cast member, bringing it to a little bit more modern day, Pete Davidson.
I do not know a whole lot about Pete Davidson. I don't know much of his characters, so I have no opinion.
I feel like definitely now the whole vibe of SNL has changed. there isn't that many recurring characters that I've seen. Even in the previous like seasons, I know we, like, for example, Adam Sandler's like Opera Man. Yeah, and then we had even Bobby Moynihan. He did like Drunk Uncle and like those type of things. I feel like lately I haven't really been seeing as much as like of repetitive characters, you know, which I think was actually a really awesome part of SNL, because you're excited to see that character again, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I think Pete Davidson, he pretty much usually just plays himself, like when he does on the Weekend Update, or yeah. But I don't know, do you think that he should be on this list, or?
I can't justify putting on the list because there's not one memory I can quote from him or repeat to my other friends what was so funny. I can't remember certain things, so
That's
I
fair.
can't justify it.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right, now moving on to our next contestant. We've got the memorable Chris Farley.
Oh, definitely put him at number 3.
Number 3. Now, at any point, you can also move any of these down if you want to put someone at number 1, okay?
One of the things I want to acknowledge about Chris Farley, I liked his Matt Foley, I live in a van down by the river.
Yeah.
And
that was definitely a good one.
Trying to remember what else he would...
The Chippendales one?
Oh, yeah. That was another
funny,
famous
too.
one. I remember when he would do Bennett Brower on Weekend Update. He
Yeah.
would do the quotes, and he's done so many characters, done so many funny stuff.
Yeah. All right, so Chris Farley coming in at number 3. Our next, we'll bring in a girl now, or a woman, Tina Fey.
Tina Fey. I would maybe put her on number 9.
Number 9?
Yeah.
Why number 9?
She's not really the top of my list, but I will acknowledge that she was a very good Weekend Update person.
Okay.
But I felt she was very good with the Sarah Palin impressions. But
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, but my thing with that was those kind of like felt forced at times.
Mm-hmm.
Where I felt they took it seriously.
Okay.
I'm not saying they weren't funny, but if you look at Dana Carvey's George H.W. Bush, I
It
didn't
was
feel
obviously meant to be funny.
meant to be funny. It was animated and stuff. And,
Yeah, but with Sarah Palin, it was too serious. And
it kind of felt that way. But it was also, it could be funny, but sometimes the humor could come off maybe in
like too political, huh?
too political.
Yeah, I get you.
And sometimes it could come off a little tad bit in poor taste.
Yeah, okay. But she was a good Weekend Update host for sure. Her and Amy Poehler, right? So we'll put her at number 9. All right, moving on to our next contestant, John Lovitz.
Acting. I always liked when he did that. So I'm going to put him at number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, Master Thespian. I like that. I remember he would do the sociopath liar on Weekend Update.
Yeah.
I remember his quote was, if that's the same character, was, yeah, that's the ticket.
He made an appearance on Seinfeld, and I liked
yeah.
it because he kept calling Jerry Jack. He's like, that's right, Jack. And he would do it so funny.
Then he would also play the devil on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
All right, so John Lovitz, you said number 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to our next contestant, Eddie Murphy.
Put him on number 5.
Number 5.
Oh, yeah, he would... I liked his Gumby, be like, I'm Gumby, damn it. And I liked his parody of Mr. Rogers, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. I remember when he came back to host, they did that, right?
Yes, he brought it back. That's
that
why
was
I
funny.
like when former cast members come back to host, so they can bring back those characters that we once loved.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so at number 5, Eddie Murphy. Up next, we got Mike Myers.
Oh, put him down at number 6. I liked his Dieter. I especially liked his Wayne character from Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to think of what else I remember him doing. Oh yeah, Simon, where you play the character in the bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, So coming in at number 6, Austin Powers. I mean, Mike Myers. No, Austin Powers is hilarious. So
Right. I would have acknowledged Austin Powers, but it wasn't Saturday. It wasn't in Saturday Night Live.
I think it might have been one of those movies that was not based on, but like, you know how sometimes SNL cast members get together and make a movie?
Yes.
I think it might have been something like that. Kind of like Wayne's World.
Right.
Yeah. What were we going to say?
Oh, I was saying that I do remember him making an appearance as Dr. Evil in Saturday Night Live at one point.
Yeah. Definitely a really awesome series. Okay, up next we got Tim Meadows.
Oh, he definitely deserves to be on this list. Number 7. I especially liked when he did the Ladies Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
He was a very good support to the show with his talents.
Yeah, he seems pretty funny.
And I liked how I felt he bridged a gap between 2 eras of Saturday Night Live because he was like on there like when Chris Farley was part of the cast, and he was still on when Will Ferrell was part of the cast.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the next one, coming in at number 7, Tim Meadows. Now our next one, we've got Rob Schneider.
I'll put him down at number 8 easily.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
What'd you like about him?
Oh, there was many things like how he would bounce off of the other cast in the show, and the copy guy. Oh yeah, another one was the copy guy, the copy room guy. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that. Yeah.
Okay, so coming in at number 8, Rob Schneider. Now there's one spot left at number 10, and I'm gonna bring in one of the veterans, the longest running cast member that's been on SNL the longest, Kenan Thompson. Kenan Thompson.
Well, his stuff on All That was good, but I don't think I can justify putting him on the list because some of his stuff started to wear out. I mean, I think he's like a good actor. So yeah. It's just I just don't see him as the same as others.
I feel like there's something about him that he kind of like has the same. He kind of does the same thing in everyone. You know what I mean? Like it's like, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it, but I think you know what I mean. Like, even though he's doing different characters, there's still like Kenan in there. You know what I mean? Right.
I mean, his stuff on All That was more memorable.
Yeah.
And
like when he was in the bathtub too. Remember?
Yeah. and trying to think what else he would do.
Good Burger.
Oh yeah, Good Burger. But I remember that was more Kel Mitchell, I remember.
Yeah, he got more of the attention for sure.
Yeah, I think Kel Mitchell is underrated here now that you brought up Kenan and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that Kenan has his good characters though. Like, I do like when he does Big Papi on the Weekend Update. Have you ever seen that one? He's he's like the baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's funny. Right. So then, sorry Kenan, you ain't making it on this lineup. Right. But we still love you, you know? All right, up next we've got Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, put him at number 10, like we talked about.
Which number?
At number. How about we put him at number 9?
Number 9.
Yeah.
Moving Tina Fey to number 10, right?
Right, and I think there's another cast member that deserves to be on the list than Tina Fey.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
Right.
Adam Sandler's coming in at number 9.
Right.
So, what are your favorite Adam Sandler characters?
Opera Man. I remember when he did the Cajun Man. And
I like the one that you actually showed me this one when he's like, I'm just the boy that wants to take care of your dog.
Yeah, the Hurley boy.
The Hurley boy, yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny too.
Right, and Chris Farley helped make it funny too.
Yeah. He's like, give the boy a chance.
Right.
Yeah. But, okay, so Adam Sandler. So now here's where the line 'em up gets a little bit more interesting.
Right.
All 10 spots on the list are filled. However, we've got some more cast members to go through. So now, if Duke is going to put him on the list, he has to remove one of his cast members that are on the list now. So far, we've got Dan Aykroyd at number 1, Dana Carvey at number 2, Chris Farley at number 3, John Lovitz at number 4, Eddie Murphy at number 5, Mike Myers at number 6, Tim Meadows at number 7, Rob Schneider at number 8, Adam Sandler at number 9, and Tina Fey at number 10.
I think David Spade should be on that list.
Well, I haven't said the next cast member yet.
Oh.
So we'll see if David Spade is on there.
All right.
But I agree. So coming up next, we've got Dennis Miller.
Well, he was a good Weekend Update person. So, like, he was in the good era too, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think I can justify him on the list.
Nope. Okay. Get out of here, Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. Up next, we've got Norm Macdonald.
Oh, definitely put him on the list.
Okay. He's coming on the list. Who's coming off?
Tina Fey.
Oh, man. You've just been waiting to get Tina Fey out of here. All right. Tina Fey is gone. Norm Macdonald coming in at number 9.
Yeah.
Norm McAdees. Okay. So, what'd you like about Norm Macdonald?
Like his delivery and some of the jokes he would say on Weekend Update and his dry sense of humor.
Yeah, I love his sense of humor. He's so, and his voice too.
Yeah.
He's like, I like when he did Burt Reynolds too.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, yeah. What do you want? All right, so he had like Turd Ferguson, remember?
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's not my name. He's
Yeah.
like Turd Ferguson. He's like, yeah, what do you want?
Yeah.
All right, so that's actually funny. Next on the list, Will Ferrell. What do you think? It's a tough one, right? Now it's
Right.
getting a little harder.
Maybe. Well, I'd like to. I cannot decide who to put unless we make a number 11 spot.
Nope, we gotta keep it to our 10 list.
But we'll
lineup.
put him on the honorable mention list.
Nope, 10 or nothing. It's a tough one. That's the fun of the line 'em up segment.
Right.
Duke is in deep thought here.
I guess I'm gonna. Next person.
Oh, Will Ferrell to the sidelines. Okay, that's fine. Okay, coming up next, we've got Chris Kattan.
I did like his Mango character, Mr. Peepers and others, but like,
He's not on the Hall of Fame up here with the big shots.
Who would you remove off the list for him?
I don't know. This is your list, Duke.
Right.
I can't really.
Uh,
It's up to you, man.
okay, go to the next one.
Okay, bye, Chris Kattan. See you later, Corky Romano. Okay, up next, we've got your favorite. Just kidding. Jimmy Fallon.
He's not making it on the list.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon, I mean, he's lovable and all that, but
Right.
come on, let's be real. He just laughed in every skit. So.
Right. And we just talked about him earlier.
Yeah. All right, fine. Up next, let's get another female character or cast member. Sorry, not character. We got. How about Amy Poehler?
Not making it on the list.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, well, sorry, Amy Poehler. Back to Parks and Rec. And let's see, up next, we've got Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, he should be on the list. But then.
Now, keep in mind, just because they don't make it to the list doesn't mean you don't like them or that they
Right.
weren't good. It's just, this has got to be, every team needs to make its cuts.
Right. Well, I liked his Nat X character, but this is really a tough call. But I would have to, then I'd have to remove someone on the list.
Yep.
So maybe I still like Norm Macdonald, but I think Chris Rock needs to be on the list, so I'll have to take Norm Macdonald off.
Okay, Norm Macdonald, Gone with the Wind. And in his place, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got only a few more characters left. Up next, we've got... Cecily Strong.
Certainly not making it.
No?
No.
She's one of the more newer cast members. She's funny, but yeah, I don't think she's like... Not like the guys on this list, you know?
Right, and I don't know much about her.
Yeah. Okay, how about up next, we got Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph. She was very good, but still, I really will have to...
Sorry, Maya, the list is just getting really, really tough right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple more here. Up next, we've got... It's your boy, Bill Hader.
Well, he was good, but, it's really hard to justify kicking anyone else off the list for him on there.
Yeah, I feel like Bill Hader would be on my list, but that's because I feel like he does pretty much every impression he does is like super good. And I feel like Bill Hader all around brought a good talent to SNL, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And he's definitely funny in like all the movies he does, and also he also did some writing for South Park, so I know that he's definitely like a funny all around guy. But this is not my list. This is Duke the Man Magnum's list, and he just doesn't match up with these guys. All right, how about Kevin Nealon?
I think I'll have to, since Kevin Nealon was funny, I'm going to have to put him in the place of Rob Schneider.
Okay, so is Rob Schneider moving down or just coming off the list altogether?
He's coming off the list.
Okay, Rob Schneider, gone. Kevin Nealon.
I liked his Mr. Subliminal, and I also liked when he's in I liked his the Hans and Franz thing he did with Dana Carvey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. So yeah, I definitely agree Kevin Nealon should be on this list. All right, up next we've got Phil Hartman.
Ooh, definitely going to be on the list. I would have to... I'll have to put him in the place of Adam Sandler, so...
Whoa, so Adam Sandler's gone?
Yes.
Okay, Adam Sandler's gone. Phil Hartman coming in at number 10.
Yeah, I liked his Bill Clinton impression, and what else was I? Oh yeah, I remember he did Frozen Caveman Lawyer, and there was another one that I had in mind that he did. I'm trying to remember it. Maybe I'll remember it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Phil Hartman moving in on Adam Sandler's spot at number 10. Now we got our last contestant, our last cast member for today, David Spade.
Ooh.
I know this is a tough one, man. Duke Magnum watches with intensity, looking over his list to choose. Will David Spade take someone's spot or tossed aside? What do you think, Duke? The world is watching or listening.
Well, I'm gonna have to... I'll have to put him at number 9.
Okay, so is Chris Rock coming off or moving down?
Maybe they can share the spot.
No, we gotta take one or the other.
Just put him on number 9.
Okay, so David Spade coming in, Chris Rock coming out. So that's all of our contestants for today, all of our cast members for today.
Right, and I want to give some honorable mentions. John Belushi,
Okay.
It was when I also liked his samurai character and his Jake Blues character from the Blues Brothers, and other stuff he would do. And anyone else we didn't get a chance to mention on the list. Oh yeah, Bill Murray. We want to make some honorable mentions to Bill Murray. I liked. I'm trying to remember what one of his characters were. Yeah. Oh yeah, and some other ones. Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner, Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry. I want to give them acknowledgments, and many more whoever I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, and Chris Parnell. Want to give a mention because he was pretty good. Oh yeah, he's one of the characters on Archer that he voices from what I talked about earlier.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. Honorable mentions. Now let's look over our list for today's Line 'em Up. We've got this lineup of Saturday Night Live cast members. So if you're gonna watch an episode, try to make sure at least one of these guys is in there for the best laughing experience. Coming in at number 1, Dan Aykroyd. Number 2, Dana Carvey. Number 3, Chris Farley. Number 4, John Lovitz. Number 5, Eddie Murphy. Number 6, Mike Myers. Number 7, Tim Meadows. Number 8, Kevin Nealon. Number 9, David Spade. And number 10, Phil Hartman. That's an awesome list, Duke. Great job. And that's this week's Line 'em Up. If we missed anybody that you guys like, any SNL cast member that's your favorite and we did not mention them today, feel free to leave a comment below and we'll love to check them out. Also, who would you like to see? What category would you want for the next Line 'em Up segment? Leave a comment below, leave a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel. And coming up next, it's this week's Chew on This. Alright, Duke, let the people know what you've got for this week. What recommendations do you have for them to check out, to listen to watch, to read, whatever you want to recommend to the listeners?
Oh, I have some recommendations. I would say for those who are David Letterman fans that still miss him, check out his show on Netflix called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. And for Star Trek fans, for those who want to catch up on Discovery before season 3, check out the first 2 seasons and also watch Star Trek Lower Decks. It's still in its first season.
That's the animated series?
Yes, that is.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to add that David Letterman show to my Netflix list because it seems like it'd be interesting. And I'm curious to see how he'll do it differently on Netflix compared to on,
Network
regular TV.
TV.
Yeah. Also, I got one recommendation also, if that's cool with you, Duke. If you haven't yet, swing by McDonald's and get their new spicy chicken nuggets. It's been the first change to chicken nuggets in I think they said 50 years or something. They pretty much, they never change the nuggets. But the new spicy chicken nuggets are pretty dang impressive. So if you haven't had a chance to try those, I suggest you swing by your nearest drive-thru and just pick up a couple boxes.
I will have to try them out.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, if that's all we got for you this week, then Duke, any last words?
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. Remember, stay positive and don't let anyone burst your bubble. See you next week.